I'm gonna step out of the narc hole for a second and jump into this cryptid stuff. Cryptid's kind of like one of my, like, I guess, my guilty pleasures. I really like this freaking subject here, like Bigfoot, Mothman, Sasquatch, the Rougarou, Dogman. Like, look, this stuff, like, I've always been a creature feature type dude, right? So this intrigues me. Also, being Indian, I've read it. Look, my tribe, that you read the book about our history. There's a chapter about us being skinwalkers, all right? They didn't do dog skinwalkers. These dudes turned into bears, supposedly. I don't know. It's just a book. Can only freaking imagine. I've heard about it in other cultures too, right? So to me, S. Walker is a freaking sort of a cryptid. It's an urban legend. I consider urban legend sort of things semi-cryptid. So it'd be like a famous poltergeist that can actually manifest and kill people. I don't know. It's a kind of cryptid sort of thing. Do these things really exist? I don't know. That's just the way I think about it. Kind of. And hey, whatever. But I think, for instance, why do I believe in cryptids? That's one of the reasons, because the Indian, being Native American, always believed in supernatural sort of things, okay? Anyway, off Top Street, we're kind of superstitious, spooky type of people sometimes, alright? And that's cool. We kind of weird. Not the weird kind of weird, but just weird, which isn't really bad. It's just different. So it's weird. You dig? Sometimes it gives us like the edge in certain situations, like with the spirits and shit. And knowing the land and hear the wind talking and shit like that. It's real shit, man. I can tap into the motherfucking animal internet, dude. Like, look, I put that on everything. I practice kung fu and shit. Do circle walking meditation. You know what I'm saying? Freaking I'm out there hiking all the time looking for medicinal plants and mushrooms, peeling bark off trees, throwing my hatchet and my machete. You know what I'm saying? Look, got my fucking bug out bag on with a bunch of ninja weapons and shit in it. Look, taking sips off my drink. Like, listen, with the eagles, where the eagles fly. Look, I got videos of that shit, multiple. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a golden eagle, and I got bald eagles too. Okay. Since I'm out here in the woods, right? I want to hear stories about, like, look, like there's all kinds of like local cryptids that are like it's a mutated like 4-footer, right? You got Sasquatch, they're 2-footers, right? And Dogman, they can, like, look, I was just watching this video here, and it's like Dogman can walk like, he can walk on all fours, but also can walk on 2 feet. But it makes a lot of sense that they go on 2 feet, because I heard this in multiple accounts where they're like, when they walk, the things that the thing only steps when they step, right? And then when they stop walking, all of a sudden it like takes another step and stops walking and is quiet. I mean, I've heard deer will do this shit too. Like, everything will do it, but it would seem like the pace or the cadence would be different. You'd be able to tell a 4-footer, but something that was 2 foot, even though it could be able to travel faster, or normally it travels like on all fours most of the time. But when it's around humans, it stands up on all 2. Because look, it gives it that. It can mimic our footsteps, and like a ninja, it can remain kind of quiet and undetected. You know what I'm saying? That would make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Fucking from thinking about it like just predators in general and what they say about the behavior of predators, right? Dope shit. I mean, they got something called a Bigfoot map, Bigfoot sighting map. You can pull it up on your phone, and you'd be surprised how many like sightings and stuff there is. And if they got a Bigfoot map, you could go like missing person map. You could go other sightings map, animal attacks, violent. I don't know, man. I never really looked into these things, but it'd be interesting to look at different shit and overlay it. I got some interesting theories about cryptids, right? Like, say, Flint, or another city that's known for gangbanging and people dying and being like, like a lot of murder going on. We might have cities like that, places that might be like open portals, and it like allow other kind of like demigod sort of interdimensional beings in, and they can influence, like the archons have influence over people's mind to the point where they can alter your whole reality. I mean, I don't know what kind of, that would we call it. That's like a principality, like the Prince of Persia in the Book of Daniel, right? I mean, look, what's that got to do with cryptids? Well, it's got to do with the supernatural, right? And so if these things are paranormal, supernatural, entities, ethereal shit, like shadow people, or I've also heard of things that aren't shadow, dude. They're like mist, right? Poltergeist, associated with poltergeist. How come? I watched this shit about the Portlock fucking Bigfoot, right? And I noticed in this documentary about it that there's a lot of poltergeist activity that is identical to what's happening on Portlock with the Bigfoot. Like, listen, like batteries getting drained. People getting sick, strange illnesses, like getting nauseated, almost as if they're getting irradiated. Look, I seen multiple parallel overlaps between poltergeist activity and Sasquatch activity, and this is a supposedly murderous Sasquatch documented, and it like literally drove away everybody on this place. And there's all kinds of there's a strange like old looking like obelisk looking sort of thing there, dude. Like, look, I don't know, neither here nor there on that, but I just say there's an association there, kind of, potentially, fucking between poltergeist activity and cryptid stuff. Like, look, I think I seen a Mothman once in Flint, freaking right after the freaking Flint water crisis, man. Like, look, it was like right around that same time. Like, my aunt died, freaking, like, look, I was having a kind of dark, it was a dark little chapter at that moment, and then Mothman flew. Either that, it could have been Project Bluebeam. Listen, I caught a video of this thing, and it was a projected cloud, and it looked like a robed figure like this, like a picture of Jesus in a Catholic place, like one of those type of Jesuses, right? And it was projected in the sky. Chemtrail Blue Beam Messiah. So me being a chem or a sky watcher watching the chems, one day I looked up in the sky and I seen something look strange. And it was like this thing with these curved wings like this. It was white. And it wasn't flying normal, man. It was like doing this weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was weird. And it looked like descriptions I heard of Mothman. Like, they said, like, Mothman didn't flap his wings. His wings just open up and he levitates, so to speak, right? Can I prove this now? Look, they've seen Mothman supposedly over in Chicago, right? I don't remember what the disaster was, but I've heard they've seen, or at least winged humanoids. That's what's that corner of cryptid lands. But being in Michigan, we got all kinds of burial mounds, right? We got Dogman. I've heard of, my mom and my aunt said they seen a Squatch back when they was kids up in Marquette, Michigan. They said they was jumping across these garages because there's these little alleys and every house built the same. And they said this thing came out the woods and it was hairy and it was so tall. She said if it looked over, it could have went. And then and got her. And they were on the roof, like jumping on roofs of garages, okay? So I had an ex-girlfriend, and she said I seen the fucking Sasquatch, and I mean it's weird outside the trailer park, right? What she said, this is what got me. She said I looked out there, dude, and she goes, I swear it was a big fucking Sasquatch out there, and he was fucking looking at me. And she goes, and my dog was out there, and she goes, my dog was just sitting there, and it was like he was frozen. He was looking dead at it, and she said that's what gave it away. As the dog stopped, it was like this frozen looking at it, and she said then she looked and she seen it. But the way she said that with the dog, like check this out. One time I was out hiking with my mom and my little niece, And this is kind of a bad move on my part. We got to the hiking trail late, and it was getting dark, and I wanted to test their kung fu, and I'm like, so what if it's dark? I got these spotlights, and I got my machete, and we're gonna make our way around, and we're gonna take the harder route that for for extra points. You know what I'm saying? We're not going for the gold, we're going for the platinums, so to speak. But anyway, look, check it out. We come walking around this thing. We come off the wait, no, hold up. We're walking through there. And man, it's getting dark fast. And all of a sudden, the path disappears. And there's nothing but underbrush. Like, look, all like this. And fucking, so I'm fighting through this stuff. It's getting dark and they're complaining. And I'm trying not to, like, let it, like, diminish my determination to make it through. So we're out there and we're going through the woods. And listen, it was looking bad. It was looking bleak. And then all of a sudden, boom, we bust through this cluster of shit, and there's a path, and it's like, oh, thank God, man, fuck, because I was on the verge, everybody was on the verge of having a catastrophic meltdown psychologically. And look, this is the kick right here. We come out the woods finally, we're on the trail, main trail, we're making fast way, but it's getting dark, it's almost dark, it is dark now, but the sky is lightly blue. Because it ain't turned like dark yet, but it's dark out. Even at that moment, that's twilight. It's almost even darker at that moment, right? So we get out the woods, and me and Mom light this joint. We're sitting there smoking it. And look, my niece was there, or not my niece, she's my little cuz, but look, she's like a niece, anyway. And look, and then what was weird, it was her first period too, right? I mean, I know it's kind of weird, but it's relevant in context. We were sitting there smoking, and she was looking around like she's from Florida. She ain't never been up here, so we had her out. It's kind of remote. It's kind of spooky. It's back in the hog bags. But anyway, I seen she was freaking out, and I needed to light a cigarette. So I was like, here. I goes, take my spotlight, and I goes, light that shit up over there. Make sure nothing's over there. I'm sitting there with Ma, getting my cigarette going, and she goes, I just saw a wolf. And I was like, oh man, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, man, you didn't see a wolf. But look, when I looked at her, she had this look where she was like this. Like, look, and she was looking, like, in the way she was holding that, look, she was holding that fucking, look, that spotlight with both hands like this. And her posture said fear. And I knew she might have seen something. And look, we're walking down the path. Look, Mom's complaining, God, why'd you do this? And like, look, being loud, it's ridiculous. We're out there all alone. And I goes, well, hey, we're getting towards this bridge over here in this big hill. And it's a natural choke point. And I goes, check this out. I goes, if we're gonna get attacked if it's a wolf, it's probably not alone. There's probably a couple of them. That's just the scout. And I goes, and if it's gonna get us, it's gonna get us right here when we get on this bridge. And sure enough, we cross this bridge, and she has got this. I can't tell if it was a wolf, a coyote, a coy dog, but it looked like a motherfucking wolf, right? That ain't a cryptid sighting, but I'm saying when you're out there hiking, you never know what might be on you, dude. Like, the birds are clocking you. That golden eagle's looking at your toddler or your toy dog, right? That bitch comes like, it's like, I didn't think those things lived around here. And then your dog's gone. That's not a cryptid, but I don't know if it's an urban legend, but I'm just saying, if that stuff happens, it can happen. You just never know, dude. So when you're out here, I'm aware. I'm paying attention to burial mounds. I'm like, dude, this looks like ancient Viking settlements. This is a cairn. Is that Ogham writing over there on that rock? Kind of like, look. And that shit is known. It's common in the surrounding areas, shit like that. So I'm like, look, I'm an amateur motherfucking historian, kind of Indiana Jones type out here. And I ain't never seen a cryptid. I follow the subject and I listen to the lore and all that, and listen to what other people do, right? It's entertaining. It's great. Freaking so I listen to a lot of this stuff, to help combat the narcology.